do the next session, that is on gamification and e-learning tool, I would request Mr. Manoj Bhadale, Head L&D Samsung Electronics, a seasoned HR and learning and development leader with over 25 years of multi-domain experience in driving people strategy that enable business transformation. At Samsung Electronics, Manoj has spearheaded initiatives that align learning and development with tangible business outcomes, leveraging his expertise in change management, competency mapping, and organizational development. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, all. Thank you, Sumit. I think a wonderful, insight to whatever we all are doing, experiencing, and living, each and every day. Especially with insurance and telecom, who are like rockets, in real world, they're like, rocket industries, always on fire. I would just want to, connect to your co. Yeah, so co is a big term in our business currently, especially mobile telecom, because the budgets are shrinking. The marketing budgets are shrinking, the margins are shrinking, and we're not able to invest a lot of money in marketing. I'll come to L&D and gamification. I just want to, connect with the co. So what we're doing is, we formed a fancy term of co-create, collaborate, co-invest. And, got our distributors together to invest in marketing of our products. So our distributors who are supposed to buy our products, sell it to the retailers and earn margins. We are now co-creating with them, asking them to invest a part of their margin in our marketing because the budgets are, limited. The challenges are infinite. And, the co-create, collaborate, and co-invest doesn't just, limit to learning, but it also develops more into marketing as we go along and directly to sales. Now, we all are, in some form, learning specialists here. I can see a lot of experienced people. Before I dwell into the topic, we want to, I would just take the leaf ahead out of Sumit's co-create thing. Let us co-create something right now. Let us, coin some 5 or 7, lovely ladies here, C-shaped danglers, right? Terms starting with C by playing a small game. Yeah, I would love to have a label actually, but to play the game, but we'll manage. So are we ready for a small game? Yeah. End of the game, we will, so let us have a discussion because, I'm no more an expert than you are. And I'm learning as I speak here. And that's the essence of learning, right? We all, whenever we interact, we try and, encourage the culture of learning. So we play a small game, or rather an activity. Post that, you got to tell me whether it was a game-based learning or gamification. First, we will coin those 6, 7 daglers. And then we go to answering the question whether it was game-based learning or, okay, at least one person is listening. Good morning. May I request you to stand? See, I think a lot of L&D professionals here, who must have started their careers with training. So, and the general observation is, with so many trainers in a group, it cannot be a quiet room. Can it be? Can it be? Yeah, so let us make some noise, right? So, so we don't have a great office here in Pune, but our cafeteria, has an attached terrace, which is as big as this, and opens into Bun Garden. Bun Garden, by the way, is quite, lush green. So it is fun to, unfortunately, we're not allowed to smoke there. But then you can always have, enjoy your cup of coffee. And I was enjoying my cup of coffee and just looked at the sky, and it was, all blue after a lot of gray days that we had for so many days. And in the next 15 minutes, it started pouring. and then, I had to step in. So now that, the sun is out, let us try and create some rainfall in this room. Can we do that? Yep. We all ready? Okay. So I'll keep my mic down. Okay. I would just direct you to do something. You just have to follow. Right? And we got to be, good players here. We're not pulling each other, right? So we'll do that together, and it's a simple exercise. Let us start, okay? I think I can be loud enough so that I'm heard. Am I heard in the back? Okay. So what you need to do first is raise your hands with my jackknife just started. Okay, take your index finger. Start tapping. थोड़ी आवाज आ रही तो खाएगी. Take two fingers. जब से बारिश की बूंदें थोड़ी थोड़ी गिरने लगी. Three fingers. थोड़ी बढ़ रही है बारिश. Bikes are stopping. Raincoat बाहर निकल रहे हैं. पीछे वाले कार वाला गाली दे रहे हैं. ठीक है, तीन, चार fingers. और बढ़ने लगी. रस्ते गीले हो रहे. Five fingers. और बढ़िए भाई. Can you tap on me? Stop it. Thank you. I hope you felt. अगर आप दिल से महसूस करो तो बारिश भी सिगरेट लिया आप महसूस कर सकते. I can just remember my cigarette alarm. Okay, thank you so much. Please have a seat. Okay, now comes the question. In this small activity that we did, can, again, there are two reasons I did this, because I thought, we all were sitting for a long time. A lot of new information that, Sumit shared with us as a senior, colleague, and we all learned. I thought we needed some movement there. Now, answer my question. Was it gamification or a game-based learning? Game-based learning? Your name, ma'am? Your name is? Okay, Nisha says it is game-based learning. Anybody else wants to, with a different opinion? Yeah, so that is what she's saying, game-based learning. No one thinks it is gamification? Okay, let me change my question now. What if the job I was assigned for 5 minutes of my presentation was to create those danglers. Create those danglers. By the way, danglers to rahenge hamare. Okay? So we need, one danglers each from, Sumit's co. Yeah? Ma'am, can we start with you? Your name and a C-based. Hi, Prachi. So from the game that we played, the small activity, what is the C that anything that connects with the activity or the team-based learning that we had? Okay, so co-creation, I think the first term that we used in the previous presentation. So one is co-create. Let us have like 7 terms at least. Yeah, so co-create. Sir, anything from you? No, something from C. Chorus ka chorus bol sakte ho for the rhythm. We had some music going on, right? As a chorus, as a team. Yeah, so let us, musically link it to chorus. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Collaboration, right? We all did it together by matching, each one's pace and, intensity. Okay, collaboration. Creative, right? It was a creative thing. It was a creative activity, okay? Sorry, I'll just have, here. Okay, so let me put a C to the practice thing. I think continuity is one thing that we can take out of what we were doing. We continued building upon the game. Yes, somebody here in the last two terms. Playing together, right? As a team, yeah. Coordination, yeah. Coordination, collaboration. So lot of C's. Now, Nisha, I come back to you. You said it was a game-based learning, but if my activity or job for today was to create, all these 7 C's that we spoke about in a way that I want, and now that I have tried to achieve that, maybe I not achieved 50% ROI नहीं निकला, ठीक है? Would you call it gamification now? I'm trying to simplify, but looking at some people, I think I've confused you all. Yeah, please add. See, experiential learning is an always-on kind of a process. Yeah, it is a de facto Wi-Fi into today's world. We're always learning. However, when we're talking about gamification and game-based learning, these are two different things. So when you're just trying to derive something out of a game, it is just a game-based learning. So we were trying to learn team building through game, then it becomes game-based learning. But suppose we have a detailed training curriculum for new hires. Say it is a 1-month program that we have in, say, a telecom, a banking, or IT sector. Now this 1-month program could be divided into 5 weekly programs, and it goes on like any academic course, and is very boring. It is very boring. However, if it is converted into a game kind of a structure where at each juncture you feel like you've achieved something, you are also interacting with the tool. The tool is interacting with you as a customized, in a customized individual manner. There are interesting, it is not, so for example, let us take a simple, assessment based on MCQs. Now, MCQs could be just a question followed by, certain answers, or it could have, a fastest finger first. So if you are able to answer the question in 3 seconds, you score maybe 2 bonus points. If you do it in 5 seconds, you just get full marks. And for a new hire, understand it is his first job maybe, or at least in your company it is first or second. It is interesting. It creates excitement that I want to get the bonus mark. Competitiveness by default is human nature. आप कितने भी बड़े हो जाओ, मैं अभी अगर आपको 3-4 हिस्सों में डिवाइड कर दूंगा, you'll start competing. No matter who you are. Right? We've all played games. I mean, take example of cricket. When we play within the team, I mean, अपनी सोसाइटी का टीम है, हम लोग एक दूसरे के साथ, उसमें भी 2 टीम हो जाती है प्रैक्टिस में, तो हम एक दूसरे के साथ compete करते हैं. आप आपके भाई के साथ खेल रहे हो, आप उसके साथ compete कर रहे हो. आप बाजू वाली कॉलोनी के साथ खेल रहे हो, आप compete कर रहे हो. ठीक है? Across teams you can, and it goes on till countries. When the countries have mixed, एशिया का टीम हो जाता है, वर्ल्ड कप, वर्ल्ड टीम अलग हो जाता है, they start competing with each other. So competitiveness is basic human nature. As soon as you create something which creates competition, it excites people. It excites people. So what I've done from a simple induction program here is starting, I've made that simple induction program into, blocks of, 4, 5, 7, 8 different level of games. And that is called game-based learning. Right? We were talking about, inducting somebody through VR. So watching, the head office sitting wherever in regional office. Now, based on whatever the person has experienced through VR, if we have 5-10 questions, while that VR thing is happening, you know, the questions popping up and the person is able to click, and then also becomes a part of the virtual reality. It would make it more fun. That is called gamification. Whatever I want to do, if I am able to do it in a form of game or encourage learning through a game-like environment, that becomes gamification. While just doing a game for purpose of fun or some activity, or as an icebreaker, or as a team-building activity, does not necessarily become gamification. And like Nisha said, it is more of game-based learning. Okay. Now, that brings me to why do we need, when we started working, any learning process in organization was more important than what we did in college. By the simple basic formula that I paid to learn there, here I'm getting paid for learning and developing my career. Correct? That is a basic thought everybody had. But what is the challenge now? Can we, in terms of learning, what is the most important or what is the biggest challenge or the barrier in terms of learning currently? And when I say learning, it could be your kid at home, it could be your most experienced employee or colleague, it could be yourself. What is the biggest challenge? Why do you think we're lacking interest? Bang on. Yeah. Attention span. Span of attention. I know it all. I know it. I'll give you an example. Whenever in our days when we started learning and a trainer walked into a room, there was a certain amount of respect. There is a certain amount of patience that I had and a belief that, okay, this person knows something that I do not know, knows more than me, can add value to my knowledge. Right? Now with my AI, Google, right? My Gemini, since I work for Samsung, we do a lot of Gemini. So everybody knows everything. Everybody knows everything. So I can have like 20 slides, but then you all know what I want to say. But so that is rightly the point. First of all, that respect or wow feeling for knowledge is gone because it is all catered to you, ready-made, right? You can access it anytime, wherever. Goldfish, coming back to your point, span of attention. Now this, in a fish pond, if you see goldfish, right? It swings from a point to another point, stays there for a while with whatever movement it has. For whatever reason, I don't know, in search of food or in search of freedom or safety or a partner, I don't know. But it goes from a point to another point, stays there, and moves to another point. Now this, motion from one point to another and the stay there is around 6 to 8 seconds. 6 to 8 seconds. And from there it moves to another point. Now, if I were to relate it to span of attention, that span of attention of the goldfish there is 6 to 8 seconds. 6 to 8 seconds. The human span of attention around 2000, okay, 90s and 2000 was around 12 to 15 seconds minimum. Any idea what is it today? 12 to 15 seconds. Now you might feel that it is very less. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, मैं तो घंटों किताब पढ़ती हूँ. It doesn't work that way. So 12 से 15 seconds, you can open yourself for some level of engagement, and if you find that engagement interesting enough, that it is giving me something, then you continue. So ये 12 से 15 seconds now has not remained 12 से 15 seconds. What is it now? Just guess. The I know it all world. And more than that, all the electronics that we have. I don't want to negate the business I come from, which is mobiles, but I think mobile, washroom bhi mobile leke jate hain. How many people, how many of you do not take your mobiles to washrooms? Pressure में नहीं बोल रहा ना. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But you saw how many of us do? I think the 60%, including me, we do carry because there are certain things that we cannot miss. अब उसमें ऐसे भी होते हैं 20% are really important, you cannot miss that one important call. 80% खुद का ही होता है कि यार मैं नहीं मिस करना चाह रहा मेरा मैसेज, right? FOMO. So coming back to the span of attention, we now have on an average 3 seconds of span of attention. 3 seconds. That is why we need to build learning processes or modules which keep people engaged, don't let them sway. And we need to make them more interesting. Why game? Now, you guys follow tennis? How many of you follow tennis? Okay. Who's your favorite player, sir? Aapka favorite player? Sorry? Okay, Navratilova. Favorite shot of her? She did not have a single hand backhand, did she? What is your favorite shot? What is the best shot she played? Backhand. Now, what do you think would happen when she was playing the backhand? You were so focused that you could not think of anything else. Imagine what she was doing. She was all focused just on, her body form and the ball and the other player, right? The focus completely on the game. Now, this is a serious professional game that we're talking about. When we come to a very small game also, like what we did, 5-10 minutes back, was just clapping actually, nothing else. मतलब बच्चों से भी बच्चे वाला game था. But still, most of us, we were all involved and just focusing on that particular thing. अगर हम लोग अभी tug of war भी करें यहाँ पे, हमारा पूरा ध्यान सिर्फ उसी पे होगा, right? या तो मैं खींच के खुद गिर जाऊँ या रस्सी छोड़ दूँ वो गिर जाएं, हारे तो हारे गिराएं तो, correct? That kind of an attitude. But our focus is still on the game. So game is, or any competition or any excitement that we create through games, is the only thing that, not for all but mostly, keeps people engaged for a longer time and increases the span of attention. And that is why gamification. Do we all agree? Or we, right? So that part. Now, coming back to, what, my friend spoke earlier, was LMS and LXPs. Now, what is the change? What is the change that has happened? Personalized choices, more fun, a Netflix kind of a feeling. The UI is more interesting, more colors. Absolutely.
I'm not sure it is more of fun for them, but still you need to make a lot of effort to try if any online platform is there. I'm not sure it's as effortless as it is on Netflix or any kind of OTT platform.
I mean, I could have explained it better. Thank you so much. Right? That is exactly my point. Right? If we invest into, say, an on-learning platform, a Coursera for that matter, does it bring that kind of engagement? Does it bring that kind of engagement as compared to the top LXP experience? That is something that we'll have to see. Right? Now, since I put in, my 15-20 minutes on this, I would appreciate if, a few of us share some experiences, especially people who are in the positions where they are able to decide what kind of learning platform or methodology that we use. If we can share that something that has benefited them, connected to gamification, that would be a good learning for all of us, including me. Yes, please. Your name is? Hi, Nas. I think you can have mic.
Okay, so in Maersk, one of the largest transformation project is on S4 HANA. Now, while we have the basic SAP navigation course of an hour and a half, okay, followed by the radio button assessment that we used to do, to make it more interactive, as you said, the attention span is limited. What we decided is to gamify the basic SAP navigation course. So with each stage of what the content would be, we would convert that into a jigsaw puzzle where the person has to move the sliders rather than wait for that entire hour to be completed and then just press the radio button. So we were ensuring that the knowledge is absorbed, but in iterative stages rather than doing that as a checkbox activity at the end of the training course.
A simple thought which comes from, say, the class 2 exercise or class 1 exercise of match the pairs, then moved into puzzles, and, it just enhances learning. So, a great example. So, you want to share something? Anything on the gaming part?
See, as so what we've been able to do in terms of gamification is twofold. One is virtual, another is in the classroom formats also. Moving away from the traditional role plays, we have introduced a form of a game, which is actually in the form of a treasure hunt, which results in a particular learning which comes in. So that's there in a classroom format. We use it in the larger offices. Then we can actually have people running around. Otherwise, it's very difficult. And the other part of it, in terms of the online formats, there are primarily what we have stuck to are puzzle games, because we've seen that most of our users are doing it on the go and on the mobile. They find it easier to work on puzzles rather than anything else. So that's why we've shifted to that.
So we've got there are 2-3 platforms that we have in Samsung. We call it S Plus. We've got some 29,000 shop floor employees. Each one of them has it. All of us have it, in fact. And there are customized courses for each one of them, and have to be completed in certain time, but in a more fun way. And of course, there are badges and you know certifications, and also at times we reward them with certain you know goodies like buds and mobiles, etc. So that's also fun. You can go ahead.
So your example reminded me of something that we've done. I work for this company called Vandalanda. It's a Toyota group company, and we're in the space of logistics automation. So what we've done is, for our values and behavior, the corporate values and behaviors, we've created a game which is called Team Connector. Now, this can be played offline, so you can get a group of people together and you can do it, and it can also be played online. And what it basically does, it gives you situations, and then you are expected to identify which of the corporate value this situation aligns with. And there's a lot of discussion and debrief that you can do around it. The good part of it, and I think why it is working for us, is that the number of situations that we have are umpteen. So we also have people working on, because we're in logistic automation, our customers are typically big airports or warehouse companies. So we have also situations for people working on airports. We have situations for people working in desk job. And they're very relatable and practical. So that has really worked for us. I mean, not just gamifying it, but personalizing in the sense of gamification.
Yeah.
Active kind of
Excuse me.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mahesh Gunjal. So ours is a bit different concept of learning, not much related to gaming, but yeah, definitely with fun, which creates a good impact. As you mentioned, like there is very less attention of 3 seconds nowadays. So we started doing in a drama format, where we create a drama of the situations, they feel that they are the characters in front of them, and that impacts more and seek more attention when they see their character playing in front of them and learn what mistakes they are doing. So instead of directly pinpointing anyone and telling that you need to learn this, this is a situation and how you can learn from that. So creating a drama, building characters and actually playing and displaying that has more impact, because that is more attention of 3 seconds increased to 15 seconds and more. So that way we do drama-based training.
I think that is great, unless you're not getting too personal, otherwise
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would
No, no,
become
it's
very
like-
dramatic.
It's a generalized one. Yeah.
So I just remembered something. So we had this, sales review in Goa, and we all went there thinking, "Arey, 2 ghante ka review again, then we have fun for 2 days." But then it started at 8:30 and it went on till 8:39 in the evening, and then we were just, "Chalo yaar, abhi to khatam karo," and then just we change and get to the pool or get to the bar, and then the HOD, he was somehow adamant that we need to do some sketch. Now his objective was, we had a long day, and if we could spend 10 minutes each from the group on a fun skit, it would just make it a little lighter. And we all were thinking, what nonsense. We are tired, just let us go. Because it was a long day. And that's not the mindset when you take somebody to go for a year-end sales review, you do that, right? And somehow our team did not participate. Okay? And the others did, but when it really happened, and we were like, kya chal raha hai? But when it actually happened and all these guys performed, it was real fun, and it actually took out all, don't want to say it in words, the entire gruesome experience since morning since we had, because it was the longest review that we had, in that quarter, and that was not the time we thought. But just this 5 minutes skit, got it, into a good party mode, and a pre-party mode, and then we went back and everybody was happy, kind of thing. But then, a part of it was also talking about a lot of processes or a lot of challenges that we face with the partners. A lot of it was about negotiation skills that we could learn. That how, sometimes when you're helpless, that you can't do anything. मेरे पास आधा % ही है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. How do I, communicate that, barrier to my partner with him, accepting my offer, and at the same time doesn't feel bad. So, those kind of role plays were done. Like he said, we do small role plays and dramas. So that's also a kind of good learning. Yes, please.
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, hello, this is Amit Munotier. Thank you, sir, for insightful session. And just 2 things I want to mention here. One thing, now many companies investing heavily into e-learning, digital learning, and all these things. But 2 important aspects if we don't consider. One, personalization. Otherwise, if we keep creating similar kinds of courses and without understanding learners' preferences, I think the adoption and engagement, definitely there will be a problem. Secondly, if we don't align all these things with our business objectives and goals, and if we are considering only adoption and engagement, considering Gen Z and the time span, etc., I think there also we will face challenges in terms of achieving larger goals with implementation of all these things. So 2 things I think very important whenever we are working on these projects. Thank you.
Manoj, if I can just add.
Yeah, please.
So Manoj, I was just...
Sorry, I think the why part I missed a little bit, so thank you for adding to that. Sorry.
Yeah, just being a mother of 2, I realized how fun and learning is equally important. And I went through a case study of a school in Indore, Agrawal. They said no bags, and it is learned by fun. So first year, everybody became very crazy, and gradually they saw that learning curve increased because the mindset changed that I'm going to learn by fun. So I'm going to just do fun. And that's what I took in Toastmasters as a community in Tech Mahindra that we run through. So a lot of time we get a feedback that our leaders don't speak. In meetings, they don't keep their point well. And that's general, that we all as leaders are not comfortable on stage. We have this glossophobia.
So a lot of people didn't come and speak until we made a game where we said, you know, draw the wheel and whatever number comes gives you a topic. And we kept a timer. So whenever we add fun element, they don't even realize that they're doing something. But then eventually they are learning more because the motive is only to win, to qualify, to ensure that I give points to my team. So when we all put task and numbers with fun, I think that element adds a lot. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to add this real life, experience here. Talking about the stage phobia, I think the L&D guys are. अरे इसमें क्या है? That's the easiest thing to do. I didn't want to do anything else, so I ended up in L&D. So, again, yesterday my friend and I, we were talking about her, son who's like 8th class and struggling with math. And you know how the phone listens to you. You know that, right? And the phone listens to you. And immediately on my Insta, it started showing some fun mathematical problems. So somehow I thought, with a lot of nonsense, it also sometimes gives you something, which can add value to your life. So it was a simple mathematical thing. So there was there was a rock, उसके ऊपर एक tortoise था, and then there was, just a tortoise, and then some math given कि ये इतना centimeter है, ये इतना centimeter है. So what is, or meter है, whatever. So what is the height of the rock? Okay. And just like a kid, I just did the math and, but used two variables, x and y. And then I realized actually, दो variables की ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी. You could have just had x. So then I called her and I told her, just, use something like this. Make him it is not that he's dumb. He's quite smart and quick at numbers. However, if he doesn't find the application of what is x and y, मतलब वो बहुत सारे लोगों को x and y वो x and y ही रहता है. इसका real life अभी तक भी नहीं समझ में आता after, sometimes PG also. You may just ask somebody about, the a plus b whole square, what is the application? They would not understand. Correct? That applies to a square and that applies to a cuboid. They really don't understand. Because that is not how we were taught. Correct? I think my friend has already told me that it's time to go. Thank you so much. I think I had a lot of learning. I hope we have all learned through the small conversation that we had. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. Huge round of applause, Mr. Manoj Bhadale.